Let's talk about something that a lot of people deal with, and that's addiction. I think all of us at some point, either in the past, present, right now, or in the future, you will deal with some sort of addiction. Right now, there's addiction to validation, social media, and a ton of things that is really just causing people to spiral mentally. I'm going to discuss specifically what I've dealt with in my past, how I got over it, and then some things that you can also apply now to help you on this journey. I believe that as human beings, when we are forced into solitude, meaning we socially isolate ourselves and then we don't have a clear purpose or clarity, it's very easy for us to fall into addiction because we create this black hole or gaping hole within us that we need to fill with something. And when you lack purpose and clarity, and then you're all alone or you're socially isolated, it creates kind of a synergy, a negative synergy that ushers you into some sort of addiction, right? For all of you who have had a taste of having a thriving social circle, good relationships, or a good relationship, and you have your purpose and clarity. If you understood at some point having both of those, you will understand how we can strive to reach more of our potential as human beings. And we're operating more from a position of what our biology is wired for. When we, again, ostracize ourselves or socially isolate ourselves and we have no purpose and clarity, we're just looking at our phones and we're aimlessly going through life with no direction. Again, you create the circumstances for you to easily fall into or fall prey to addiction. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of what I went through. And I really, really believe that this is going to help a lot of you. So, back in the day, I've always been an athlete, right? I'm an ex professional athlete. I'm somebody who's always kind of had their eye on the prize. So, regardless of that, I always had purpose and clarity, right? I recently changed that in my late 20s into getting into entrepreneurship and real estate. However, from age, 10, 11, all the way up until my mid 20s, it was all about basketball. Now, in that time, I did fall into, and right after it, in my mid 20s until I got into real estate, I had these little issues. I always was an avid video game player. I wouldn't say it got to the point of addiction early on, but a lot of my free time was spent on it. And it got a little dangerous at some points because of the amount of time that I would spend in front of my PlayStation or my Xbox or whatever it was. Now, where it hit me hard was when I had to end my basketball career because of injuries, I felt internally that my life was robbed from me, that I had something taken away from me, that it was unfair. And I played the victim. And after that, shortly after that, I stayed overseas for a bit but when I came back to the States, and even right after that, I hit a point where I don't want to say clinically depressed, but I had a lot of issues. Remember, I put all my eggs in one basket, and my whole life and my whole purpose was dedicated to just basketball. So when you took that out and everything revolved around it, again, there was that hole that I was talking about. I had a temporary moment of nothing, no purpose, no clarity, no direction. On top of that, sure, I had family, I had friends, so that wasn't really too bad, but enough of a hole and gap was created within me that I started to kind of spiral. And when I got back, I found myself getting lost in video games. I played a lot of, and I've talked about this on my other channel. I played a lot of like World of Warcraft, Diablo, and a lot of old games where, again, I would just lose myself in it. And all my free time was spent on that. I wasn't really going out. I still had my friends and talked to them, but I found myself opting to stay in and play a game versus going out. And I started crossing that line where now you're prioritizing your addiction over other people, real life, and circumstances. And this, you can substitute this with alcoholism, gambling, or whatever it is. So when it starts to take a grip and control of your life is when it becomes a problem, right? When you start negating friendships, relationships, you start negating your work, you start negating a lot of things that are even necessary for you to function as a human being. You've now crossed that threshold to where it's a problem, right? So the reason that this happens is we find ourselves in these addictions. It fills in that hole. It gives us something. So for video games, it's easy because now instead of focusing on your real life, you're building your character, you're playing the game, you're accomplishing something virtually or in this fantasy world instead of your real life. And what caused me later to click out of that, which we'll cover later, is I said, I need to swap this. I need to take that time and dedication that I put into my sport and put it into my life and reinventing myself, right? Which we'll discuss later. But when you're in it, right? You want to fill that gap. Now, when you lack the purpose and direction and clarity, and you also are socially isolating yourselves or you have no friends, now it becomes very easy with these addictions because many of these addictions fill both of those gaps. You might have drinking buddies, you might have gambling buddies, right? You may have something that's a vice that minimum is going to fulfill one of these, but if not both. And when we talk about like video games, it does both. You have your little online community that you can talk with on, Discord or online, right? Where you can get that social interaction in quotes. And then you have like a character or something that you're building and playing to navigate that fake world. So now you have that filled in for you artificially. Now, instead of you, this is the key. This is the problem. Instead of you saying, "Hey, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to change this," what you do is it's artificially put in and it's fake. And when you step away from that world and you go back into the real world, now you're all discombobulated, and it's a problem because you had everything. When you step back into the artificial world or your world of addiction, you're now in that position where it's like, okay, all these things got filled in. I have that purpose. I have a little bit of social stuff, right? This is why when you start doing AA or recovery meetings, what do? They do it in a group setting. You have other people that you can relate to, right? You're not alone. And now you have a place where you can discuss it, you can talk about it, you can communicate, and you can deal with it in a more healthy fashion. So in that pit, in that intensity of the addiction, you're thrown right in and all these holes and gaps are filled for you. But it's in this artificial fake world, right? And it's destructive because for a lot of us, addictions are destructive. It starts ruining your attention span. Some of these can ruin your health. And again, you start neglecting your real life. When you cross that threshold where now you're neglecting your real life, activities, friends, relationships, and most importantly, responsibilities, now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. Okay. So when we are deep in it, you forget you have that high of, well, I have the purpose and clarity. I have some of that social interaction. Now things are moving. So, in essence, what has to happen for you to break out of it, unfortunately, for most people, is you have to become what I call sick of your sickness. You have to get to the point where it dawns on you, dude, I've neglected my life. I've neglected my responsibilities. I'm not making money. I'm living at home. I lost my girlfriend. I have no friends. Like, you start having these issues. Now, I never let it spiral that much because even in the height of it for me, the addiction was never so tough that I neglected my life. Like, I've seen documentaries where dudes don't go out, don't pay their mortgage, pee in a bottle because they're just gaming, or they even go as far as taking their own existence, right? I don't even know if you can say those words, right? They basically off themselves. I never got to that point because I recognized these things and stopped it. I never really neglected my responsibilities. Like, even when I played basketball, even if every other waking moment I was playing Call of Duty or some other game, I still worked out. I still followed my routine because I had that purpose, right? I had basketball. So that deep fire was still burning for me to train a lot. And I still lived an athlete lifestyle. I ate well, I prioritized my sleep. I put in a bunch of extra hours of work. That purpose was always there. Had I not had it, I for sure would have spiraled into something deeper. And for me, it was video games. For other people, it could potentially be something else. So, looking back at it, right, you'll become sick of your sickness at some point. Now, at that moment, you have a crossroads. Are you going to deal with it and man up or woman up? Or are you going to continue to feel sorry for yourselves? And this is where somebody who's, again, lifting their head out of that fog has to make a few key decisions. Your paradigm has to shift completely, meaning you have to understand that you've gotten yourself to this point because of these circumstances and then actions that you took. You now have to take a step back to change it. Now, the first thing you're going to have to do is what's called a pattern interrupt. This is why when people do rehab or something like that, they take them out of their environment and put them in a new one. They take them to a rehab center. They start going to meetings. They effectively uproot them from that daily routine and environment and put them into something new. This is effective because, just like in this instance, even if you're not addicted to anything and you're looking to improve your life, this is why joining a coaching program, going to an event, inspires that change. Because let's say you have to leave your daily routine and travel to a place for 3 days and learn. You're in a new environment, new people, new experiences. You now open yourself up to fully receive this new way of thinking and this paradigm shift that you're going to experience. in the best circumstances. If you try to do that with your normal regular routine and what you're doing, it becomes very difficult for you to break out of it because you're still in the middle of it. We need to uproot you completely and put you in a new environment, new sensory, location, new everything. This facilitates you breaking out of that pattern and establishing a new one. Because for the person who maybe has been playing that video game forever or gambling every day or drinking every day, when you take them out of that environment and now they're cut off from it, they now start lifting their head out of that fog, like I said earlier, and you start seeing the grip that it had on your life and how much time you were wasting. Like all these things start dawning upon you, right? I'm not a professional doctor or psychotherapist or psychoanalyst or whatever it is. So again, these are just my opinions, right? I have to make that disclaimer, but I've walked myself through this and I've taken myself through this and enough of my students that I've coached over the years. Even though I coach more like sales and real estate and entrepreneurship, we do talk a lot about the mind, communication, and these things because they're super important, right? So I've taken myself through it and I've helped other people through this because this is real life. These are real life circumstances and scenarios, right? So we do this, and once you break out of that environment, you lift your head out of the fog and it starts to become clearer to you the grip that this had on your life, and you start saying, man, okay, I now see the severity of this. And once that starts, again, not just in theory, but you have the real realization, not just the understanding, the realization, like, wow, okay, this is real and I'm experiencing it now. Now the shift for change starts, right? So from there, as I was alluding to earlier, we now create the plan. We now start putting pieces together. We now know, hey, I got myself to this point. I now have to start literally reconstructing myself, my mind, my body, my heart, my soul, my emotions in order to move forward in a direction, more of a direction that I want to head in. And when you do that, you begin this process of change. Now, typically, you're going to want to get help. Can you do this alone? Probably, but it's going to be super, super difficult compared to actually having somebody guiding you and helping you, a supportive community, just like you see for like, Alcoholics Anonymous and all these other things. You want to get into a program or something that's going to help you, right? Gamers Anonymous, whatever these things are called, right? And this is why it's so important that you have that because it'll fill in the gap of that kind of camaraderie, social tribe. We are people who are not designed to be isolated. Think about that, guys. This is another big issue right now. We're so interconnected and hyperconnected because of these, but at the same time, we're so disconnected because more people are lonely than ever. We need that. We were designed to be in tribes, even if they're small. You're supposed to have your 20, 30, 40, 50 people, your family, the people around you. You can be a monk if you choose to do that, but most people are not going to be able to thrive, and it's going to weigh on them negatively up here mentally if they're alone for these long periods of times. Believe me, guys, I felt it, right? I went from having everything to having things taken away from me from the censorship and all that. I had to move real estate companies and I lost a lot. I lost a lot of people close to me. In the last 2 years, I've had my nose to the grindstone rebuilding. And now that I'm getting out of it, a lot of those 2 years, year and a half, 2 years were spent alone. And I felt it. I still had friends and that kind of stuff, but I was single again and all that. And suddenly I went from being just surrounded by people all the time and loving it and being happy go lucky to now I'm alone most of the time. And after a while, although I'm good up here, you start to crave, more social interactions. And I'm a social dude, so I would still go out and meet people, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real depth and connection, right? Because that's something you need to create, right? We have the other side of it that I was talking about, the purpose and the clarity, and that's huge, right? You have to establish that, and that's different for everybody. I don't know your life. I don't know what you really want. But when you start breaking these patterns and your head lifts out of that fog, you really need to connect with what would you want to pursue? What have you denied yourself? Where do you see your life going? What would you like to create for yourself? But the other one is you have to build, even if it's only one or two, strong connections. This is why the last couple of years, one of the most transformative things for me the last decade or so was as I improved my communication, really cementing the relationship with my mom and my dad and making it strong, right? I talk to my mom like every day, right? I talk to my dad very often as well, and I have a really strong bond with them. And a few other people on my team, in my coaching community, I still have a lot of people. So a lot of those friendships and bonds are what keep me. We crave that, we desire that, and we need it to thrive optimally as a human being. Can you survive and be okay without it? Sure. But if you want to be optimal, we really value experiences and the people close to us. That is absolutely a requirement, which is why most people are going to want to, have a wife or a husband or a girlfriend, whatever, have kids, procreate, because you want to create that for yourself. I may do that in the future. I don't know, but you really desire that. So once you start creating these connections, which is key, it fills in one of those gaps, right? Of connection, relationship, true fulfillment, and then this purpose and clarity. We need both. Now, this one is quite a bit of a process, and you have to take yourself through it. But once you get out of that phase where you break the pattern, you now can look at these things. Now, for many of you, I'd recommend you get out there. Right? I just moved to a new place. You guys have seen in my previous video. I'm looking at going to dance classes. I've signed up at new gyms. I'm going to a new boxing gym that I'm going to sign up. Right. I'm going to reconnect with playing the piano, which I have over here because I did lessons years ago before I moved out to Florida. I'm going to continue them. But through that, calisthenics, there's a gymnastics place I want to go to. There's like a thing on the weekends where they do like a woodworking workshop that's free, that's hosted by the county here in Florida. I'm going to be going to these things and I'm going to be moving and shaking and meeting people at the gym, the boxing gym, here, there, right? Playing the instruments, the dance classes. So through that, I'm going to organically in this new area build a new social circle and new connections. And a lot of us don't do that anymore. We just hang out at home or you're on your phone and you scroll or you DM people. It's not the same. That's inauthentic. That's fake. That's, created, fabricated, relate. Those aren't real connections. And you need to do that. And especially now, as you're transitioning and breaking out of this, the people close to you, especially having supportive people around you. This goes for anything too, building your career or whatever. But in this context, we're talking about breaking addiction and coming clean and establishing that new paradigm. You got to have really good people around you, solid people. And sometimes you have to look for it. Some of the masterminds that I've paid a lot of money to go to in events, I'm friends with some of those people to this day because we're on the same wavelength. And those have turned into beautiful connections. I have people in my coaching program and community who have become best men at each other's weddings. It's awesome to see. And they say through the program in my community, they've made some of the best friendships that they had ever in their lives. That is awesome. I love that. Right. But we need that to thrive optimally. Same thing with purpose and clarity. You set whatever your purpose and clarity is for you in your life. But to thrive optimally, which is what we're talking about here, actualizing your potential as a human being, we need both of those firing on all cylinders. When I think of peak me, it's great bonds and relationships. My last relationship, romantic relationship, was almost a decade long. Right. That purpose and clarity, those are intertwined and interlocked. You have both of those, you are firing on all cylinders. You're not going to be depressed. You're not going to be sad. You're not going to feel alone. You're going to have good energy, more zest and enthusiasm for life, and things will change for you. Right. But this is just some of the things that we can explore here when it comes to overcoming addictions of any sort. And you can apply this to other areas of your life as well. But this is super important, guys. And I really recommend those of you struggling, falling into addiction, dealing with it, somebody who is, send them this video, tag them, drop a comment, share it with them, share it on your feed, because this stuff is super important and it'll at least give you the first steps and building blocks in order for you to move on to the next phase of doing something about it. Because none of this matters unless you have the realizations and then you do something about it. Theory or just listening to this is great, but unless you have the real realization to relate to the circumstances that I'm talking about, and then you not doing anything about it, nothing's going to change. Okay. Anything else I can do for you guys, let me know. Check out the free resources that I have in the description. I'm working on publishing my first book, which is going to be the real estate book. Any of you who need a book, a one-on-one call, let me know. Go to my website, check out everything I have there if you're interested in coaching or whatever it is, or standalone courses. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If this is a style that you like, let me know. I'm not going to be filming here forever, but dude, this move has been wild. My lights aren't working, right? I'm still waiting to set up the thing over there on the other side where I record. I'm not going to be set up for another couple of days, but it's been a pain, man. All these little issues keep coming up, but hey, it's a part of the journey. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. All right.